Welcome to the channel, my name's Jeff, and today I wanted to talk about the NYXI Gaming Joy-Con controllers. They're sort of they're a bit chunky, they're a good handheld grip for portable play, and of course they do magic tricks like come off and they can actually be used as individual Joy-Con, and they rumble too. And of course they make that great Joy-Con sound. So, I bought these controllers is because I'm a bit obsessed with collecting different Joy-Con. And because I'm obsessed, I often get ads for all these different third-party ones. And I eventually gave in. All the other ones, like the Hori Joy-Con Pro controller, or whatever you want to call it, just wasn't really for me. I didn't like the style they did. I felt this sort of NYXI Game one looks sort of just neat and clean, and I like the sort of white look. And of course, because there was, you know, LED lights around the sticks, that I was sold. I wanted to try them out. So on the back, there's actually some back buttons as well, which you can program, but you can only program each side of the Joy-Con. So only buttons on the left Joy-Con can be on the, you know, L3 or whatever you call it, and only buttons on the right Joy-Con can be on the R4 side. So you can't swap between the sides. The other buttons on the back included turbo, which I've never really used since like the Super Nintendo. And of course there's a the other button triggers the levels of rumble and what color the LEDs are actually going to be. Each one also has a USB-C charger, so if you don't want to charge it via the switch for whatever reason, you can charge them up individually as well. So that's kind of useful. I've never really used it. Yeah. So the reason why I didn't like the Hori one is, aside from I thought it was kind of ugly, is there's actually a big chunky lip on the front, and I didn't really like that. It's hard to see on camera, but it actually sinks on top of the switch, and this one is sort of clean and sleek, and yeah, it sort of blends all in together. What it actually does though, it does still have the bump, because of course they're big grips, but there's a grip on the back, and it's actually kind of useful. I kind of enjoyed that experience, holding that little bump, and yeah, made it really neat. What makes this NYXI Gaming one special is actually it's got built-in gyro as well, and unlike the Hori one, which doesn't have rumble, doesn't have gyro, this can actually play a lot of your gyro games, I guess. Super Mario Odyssey worked perfectly fine, so did Splatoon, Pikmin 3 Deluxe, and I think probably my favorite feature is, you know, these actually come off entirely, and you can slip them into the provided plastic grip thing, and all of a sudden it becomes a totally usable Pro controller. Now it's a little wider than most Pro controllers that you might be used to, but it's perfectly adequate. I've been playing Bayonetta and Super Smash Bros. With this, and no problem whatsoever. They all rumble just fine, and I feel like the battery life, I feel like, I'm gonna say all day, so at least 8 hours. I had a little gaming session with Nick the other day, and they didn't run out till the very end of the day, and that felt, you know, fine. I didn't feel short in any way. Now, one of my other favorite features is this Joy-Con can actually turn the switch on. A lot of the third-party Joy-Cons, they can't do that, and I feel like, or Pro controllers, I feel like that's a real deal breaker. Turning on the switch via either, you know, the home button or the capture button on this side, I feel like it's a necessity. If they don't do that, it's kind of a deal breaker. If your switch is in the dock, who wants to get up to turn it on, right? Like, that just feels sort of defeats the purpose. So this one's actually really useful and really versatile. Now, there is no Amiibo support, there's no NFC reader on these things, but I don't feel like that doesn't matter at all. And of course, the rumble is just ordinary rumble. It's not Nintendo HD rumble or whatever you want to call it. But normal rumble, it's just fine. You won't miss HD rumble. Again, comparing it to the Hori one, I just feel like it's so much sleeker and neater. I don't like the rubber buttons on the Hori one at the front, like the macro and assign buttons or turbo buttons. It just doesn't feel neat. This still feels neat and looks great in the, you know, the white switch dock next to all the white consoles. Like, it's still looks like it's meant to be. Now, I've been really positive. I really like these, but I feel like there is one big downside, and you know, all of a sudden your little tiny OLED switch, it just becomes absolutely huge. All right, just look at the comparison here. Like, the Joy-Cons are absolutely tiny, and this thing is just gigantic. Because it is so gigantic, I was a sucker, and I had to buy this sort of travel case that came with it as well, right? Because I thought, oh, I might travel around, you know, it doesn't fit in the old Switch case, so I better buy the travel case. But all of a sudden, when you're traveling with this and its giant case, I feel like it's no longer a portable experience. It's great to be at home with it, but if you're traveling with this just for work, like every day I'd catch the train, and having to put this size case in my bag or on a plane seat, like all of a sudden it just takes up so much room, and it sort of just completely ruins that portable factor. Now, I don't have a Steam Deck, but I imagine this is sort of approaching Steam Deck size, and I just found I haven't been using it as much portably. If I'm traveling, I just stick to the regular Joy-Cons. I never want to travel with these because it's too big and it's too much. These are great for really intensive games where you're holding and gripping the controller and pressing all the buttons, and it's great for long play sessions, but again, I just found I ended up continuing to use this or use a normal Pro controller at home. So overall, like, I do like these. I'm actually kind of glad I bought them, and I've just got sort of something different to try. I like how versatile they are. Like, you can actually use them as a single Joy-Con. And I paired it to my phone and played some games, and it worked totally just fine. But I feel like they're just so clunky and so chunky for travel that I would avoid it. And of course, there's always new Joy-Con colors to try, and I just can't help myself, and I keep buying different Joy-Con, and these don't get put back on. But anyway, that's my opinion of the NYXI gaming Joy-Con controllers. They sometimes go by a different name, or Binbok or something like that, but you know, they're all sort of same. The LED function's kind of cool. It's a novelty to get you in, but you know, you get over it pretty quickly. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. My name's Jeff. Give us a thumbs up if this sort of helps sway your opinion or maybe validate a purchase for you, and otherwise stick around to the channel and check out our other videos. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye!